Hello, America. I am your 18-time undefeated, pandemic-beaten, LSU killing, Big Ten owning, college football representing. You know what? All is right in the world, okay? Everything is getting back to the way it should be. All right? If you were lost, if you didn't know what was happening in the world, and you were trying to figure out if the world was getting back to where it should be, as of Monday night, everything is turning back to hope. We are giving the world hope again, all right? So let me introduce my friends right now, because I use the term friends loosely, but let me introduce these gentlemen on the screen with me, because you won't hear from them for quite a long time. So let me introduce them for a second. Mr. West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where he spent most of his days. This man, he has a loose lineage to the greatest school in the country, because if it wasn't for us, his school wouldn't be rebuilding right now. That young man, Mr. NCAA himself, the Baconator, Michael A. Bazemore. It's good to have you on the show tonight, sir. I don't need to hear shit from you, but it's good to have you on the show. You can be quiet. And the co-host of this show. What more can I say about this man that Truman State has not already said about him?
They don't say much.
Exactly. All right. I had to hear so much crap from this man for a couple of years straight now.
That's true.
He is still my dear friend, and I got his racially ambiguous save the date today in the mail and everything. It had sunshines and trees and redwoods in the background. It was a beautiful sight. Not as beautiful as what happened Monday night. All right. In comparison, that picture was dog shit compared to what happened on Monday night. James, Big Game, Madison, Walton, the third, the original Slim Reaper. I'm glad to have you tonight, because great things are happening, folks. Great things have happened. I don't know if Go ahead.
Before you go, I'm going to continue to let you go, as Stephen A. Smith would say, on your soliloquy. But let's just call it what it is. I'm going to shout out Dwayne Johnson, because only in times of sadness could a shot do something so wonderful to me. So this is in honor of your national championship. Cheers to you, my friend.
Thank you, my man.
The floor is now yours.
So it brings you back to a better time, okay? The Alabama Crimson Tide have won the college football national championship once again. I really don't know where to go with this. I mean, the Big Ten has dawned themselves as the conference of academics, but had the dumbest game plan in the history of football. Why would you run a 4-4 against a possible top 3 pick as a receiver, a potential first-round quarterback, a first-round receiver, first-round O-lineman? That's given. That's a given. You have a potential first-round tight end next year, and a potential first-round receiver the year after that. But you wanted to run a 4-4 against a Heisman Trophy. If Buddy don't lose his job this week, something's wrong. All right? Let's go back to these 18 national championships. Now, I was told
how many championships were were won when actually black people were playing? I'm just curious.
I was told I could only count
a lot of paper
ones.
championships.
I was told I could only count the ones that were integrated and everybody was allowed to play. So with all that being said, we still got 10 of them. If we're counting the ones where we're letting everybody play, we still got 10, we got a dime of them. You feel me? It's a dime trap.
Well, we just lost another 500 viewers right there. So you're not going to count the 8 with everything that's going on? Well, there goes another 500 viewers right there.
No, we ain't counting 8. No.
Since I can't count the original 8, we'll count 10 of them. With what happened Monday night, we are now the greatest college football program of all time. We have the greatest coach of all time. We have a top 5 receiver in college football of all time. It's great to be great.
Whoa. Time out. Yo, stop. We got to relax. We really got to relax. These young boys is some young dogs. But stop disrespecting all the Hall of Famers that have come through the college ranks and the pro ranks. He is not an arguable top 5 receiver of all time. No, he is not.
Numbers don't lie, this. Numbers don't lie.
I don't give a damn if his numbers
don't lie,
were quadruple whatever receiver come before him. So he's better than a Chris Carter.
Numbers don't lie, Baze.
He's actually in college. He is, yeah.
No, I'm talking about his skill set. Yes, his numbers are inflated.
Lie.
His numbers are inflated. Let's look at the 2 receivers. His skill set. Look at these skill set. Is he even better than Julio Jones?
Yes.
Skill set.
In college?
No, I'm saying skill set. I know numbers can lie to you, especially when your team is playing in a conference with only 4 legitimate opponents. All the other teams are garbage. Garbage.
Baze, you have 3 legitimate teams in the Big Ten right now. So technically, with us having 4, we're still better.
And one of them resides in Evanston. Thank you very much. Now,
I was going to give you credit. I was going to give you
which is sad.
I'll give you Northwestern.
I'm proud of my boys. It should not be that way. We should be one of half the conference. To defend Baze's point, I want to first off, as we gave you a good portion of that, America, you already seen me take a shot of tequila. I'm drinking Coors Light. I got the Kraken right here. I got Screwball. I'm so messed up from all this. I don't even know what to do. I had to wear my Space Jam t-shirt. It's the only way I can think of inspiration. Right now, I Believe I Can Fly is playing in my head. I'm so happy and sad right now. I don't even know what to do. Okay, so
yeah, crazy.
I want to say a couple things about this game. And this did Zozo draw all these? I love it.
You damn right she did.
That's a great kid. Future on show right
respect.
there.
Unlike Baze, we raise children right in this house. All right?
So
we raise kids right in this house.
So I want to say a couple things about this. I actually talked to Chris Turner before this game went on the air, and Chris can vouch for this. I think I called him right about 11 o'clock his time, might have been noon, not sure. And I asked him, I said, what do you think? And of course he was confident. He didn't really kind of know the result, but he knew his team was going to win, as the majority of us did in America. And Chris can vouch for me as I've poured the last, it's like a happy and sad time. I don't know what to do. So I'm going to figure out it's going to be like that How I Met Your Mother episode. I'm going to find an option. And by the time we get off this topic, I'll be much happier. But I told Chris Turner this, and I repeat that I said this, and it was painful to me. I said this game was not even going to be close. There was no way that this team could hang. And I didn't even watch the Clemson-Ohio State game. I didn't watch one snap of it. I can't even remember what I was doing. I know what we were doing. We were flying. We were in the air. We were flying. So we didn't see a snap of that day. Like we were in the air New Year's Day. Didn't watch a snap. Saw the score, and I was like, that's different. Didn't expect that outcome. Good for them. They found a way. I blame Northwestern for that. It's not the game we wanted to see. Nobody wanted to see, outside of the state of Ohio, and actually, I think every Tuscaloosa fan actually wanted the Ohio State matchup. Because as I've been told by Chris Turner, this was the revenge tour, and they got revenge over just about everybody.
Just about.
So I do want to say this and segue to Baze's point about getting caught up. I love – that was the first time I got a chance to watch Devontae, as I like to now call him, as everybody calls him there. I'm calling him Smitty, and I know I'm not alumni from there, but I actually texted this in my group. It didn't solicit much, but you two would appreciate this. Devontae Smith had more catches and yards than I had my entire freshman year, Truman, in one half. So I figured you guys appreciate that. So that's how much respect I have for this kid. And he is the real deal. Like, you sit and watch this kid, and I texted in our group, the three of us, which is one of the most hilarious groups I've ever been a part of watching a game. There was so much foolishness going on that will not air on this show. That was
never.
The three of us.
Never.
And the fiance read some of it, and she laughed. Now, there's things about this kid, and I said this when I watched. I said it before the half was over. I said, this kid's got a chance. Like, he's the real deal, because listen, he knows space. He's great. They can do concepts with him because he's got that build. He's got that changing ability. Like, he's got a chance. The right team, he can do some really special things. But to argue Baze's point, Baze is correct, Chris. You can't give him top 5 status because you're talking about the Larry Fitzgeralds of the world, who's one of the greatest college wide receivers to ever play the game. You got to throw Jerry Rice's 2 years in there. Randy Moss arguably did
I would say Randy Moss.
You'll never see. You know what I'm saying? The only guy that even touched Jerry's records in college was Randy. You know, and I love what Devontae Smith did. Like, this goes beyond my hatred for your school. This is pure just, if he's got it, he's got it. Okay? Obviously, I got to think about guys like Tim Brown. Like, Tim Brown gets slept upon when we're talking about college wide receivers. Tim Brown was a monster. And then, to me, I'd say my all-time favorite next to Randy Moss, you can't put Devontae Smith over Peter Warrick. I don't care what anybody says. Peter Warrick is one of the greatest college football players to ever live. Period. Shout out to Doug. So there's 5 guys right there. When we're talking about careers, and I can name other guys. That was just off the top of my head when you went, he's top 5 of all time. No, he had a top 5 season of all time.
Thank you.
Crowning is, as somebody that's done it, it is hard to do. I don't care where you're at. It's only been done in the NFL 6 times, and in the entire history of the NFL, it's only been done 6 times. And it's been done by 3 guys. So what Smitty did is phenomenal, and you can argue it to be the greatest college football wide receiving season of all time. I love his 42 touchdowns. I think that's great, but top 5 career, I can't. It's hard for me to do that. Career, you say of all time, and this is not from hatred. This is just to back Baze up, because we haven't even gotten into the juxtaposition that I'm in right now. I am giving your team props, but I have to be critical when you say certain things, because I feel like you've earned the right to talk shit. But I know Baze is going to go too far left, because look at the green he's wearing. Like, it's not St. Patrick's Day. Why are you wearing that? I have on black. It's a funeral. It's appropriate. Go ahead, Chris. I'm sorry.
Mr. Walton, I can only reference the rap music that I grew up with and that I love, that's dear to my heart. And there was a couple of rappers, 2 in particular, Yo Gotti and I believe it was Jay-Z, who said men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. Now,
which is a stupid statement.
And
But
can we also talk about the fact you put Yo Gotti and Jay-Z in the same sentence?
They both said it. They both said it.
It's a stupid sentence.
That is actually the epitome of what's going on.
If I drop 20 points and my team down 50, am I now a great basketball player? Because I came in off the bench and dropped 20 when the game was out of hand? Because you look at the stat and say, oh, he dropped 20. He did something good. No, numbers can lie. So
a 20 piece is a 20 piece. A 20 piece is a 20 piece.
No, it's
All
not.
right?
If I drop 20 against the other bench warmers, that's not a real 20. That's not a real 20 piece. I wasn't doing it against their starters.
And speaking of this 20, is this a Kevin Hart Church League 20? Is this a JV 20? Is this a junior high 20?
Well, to my point, exactly. Numbers can lie.
What type of 20 we talking about? But
so,
I mean, when you say Jay-Z and Yo Gotti, like this is the juxtaposition. This is my college word I'm using for this segment. That we are in. Because I finally learned how to pronounce it right. This is exactly this is what we're talking about. So this is why this argument is so tough. We're talking to a guy who has every right to say everything that's coming out of his mouth. Because I have hammered this dude for 2 years. I wish we had started this show last year. I would have LSU'd this show to death. And I do want to bring in a conversation because I think Mike Bazemore had some good things to say. I think he should say them on wax. And I know Chris came in the middle of it, Alabama out. But I said this off the record, but I'm saying on the record. And I personally, I want to let it be known to all my Ohio State fans. I think Justin Fields is a good talent. I really do. And he's a talented player. And to me, I honestly feel, that I think he has gotten the most out of what I've seen of his mentality and how he is. But I will put this on record right now. I would draft Mac Jones before I would draft Justin Fields based on the pure mentality. That kid gets it. I will take a kid that can be that accurate and does not – his first fumble of his career was that great play by the outside backer who I thought played a hell of a game for them.
He did.
That guy's a player. I mean, so Ohio State still got some guys that can go. Like, don't get me wrong. And I think Wade is okay. I just think, sometimes you got to let be. Guy won the Heisman for a reason. Just shut your ass up and play defense. Like, you tell the coach, I want to try man-to-man. Don't tell the media because you will get fried. But I'm taking Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones, even in Ohio State system, could have made that game closer. Bays made the point, well, if you put Justin Fields back there, if you put a lot of guys back there, we've seen that with Alabama over the last – Saban's been there 13 years. They've had a lot of different versions of quarterbacks playing that system, and we've seen that on title space. So I want to let you know that I hear your point 100%. But I guarantee you put Mac Jones, they had comparable talent in certain spots. I'm not saying Chris Olave or Olave is Devontae Smith. He's not.
But he's good.
That guy can go. Okay?
He's good.
I think I give you this. They lost their counter to Najee Harris. I think Trey Sermon's there. Maybe they only lose by 21. Maybe it's a 17. They were still going to get their ass whooped. Let's call a spade a spade. Because when I said what I said, it was before Trey Sermon went out. And let's not forget Devontae Smith got hurt. This guy would have had 20 catches in 3 quarters, which means he would have been on his way to trying to kill my entire first 2 years of my career at Truman State in a game.
Let me just put this out there. I only
caught 34 the next year. If I had 47, this dude would have been halfway to my college total in one game. So before you go, Chris, because I'm going to give you the last few minutes, but I do want Bays, and I think Bays is a fan of Justin Fields outside of his colors. I want him to have a chance to defend that. Why? I know you and I are on the same page. We both take Mac Jones over. Like, I think I'm speaking for you on that because I know how you feel about Justin Fields. We both have I see it in his eyes, Bays. That's all it is. Like, I can see the way he handles adversity. Mac Jones goes, well, I got beat. I lost the game to Auburn. I'm going to go smack whoever's in this game that he did last year. And that's when you knew this kid's got it. Go ahead, Baze. Give you a couple minutes before we let Chris finish this segment out.
Well, number one, I hate to be capping for any other team. You know, it's Michigan State all day over here. And I don't give a damn what any other team do. But everyone likes to highlight a quarterback's bad games as a reason to discredit the great things they've done. He's only lost how many games? 2 or 3?
2 or 3.
2 or 3, right? He came in from the jump and was fire. So you want me to discredit his talent and what he's done over 2 seasons for couple bad games. He had a bad game against Clemson. He came back the very next year and lit him on fire. And I think, Walt, if you saw that game, you would understand why I was hoping that they would put up a better fight against Alabama. But I was also very hesitant because the energy that they expended against Clemson is hard to duplicate that 2 weeks in a row. You want to expend that energy versus Alabama. That's why the matchups are so important, because let's say if anybody that got Notre Dame was probably going to have an easier game plan going to the championship. They all know that, right? So it's difficult to say that I'm going to take Mac Jones over Justin Fields. I've seen Mac Jones play. He's a decent talent, but at the same time, he's around a offensive line that's better than Justin Fields, right? He's not facing he's not facing a defensive line that other teams are facing, right? So am I taking Mac Jones over him? No. Like I said before, it depends on what round am I taking these quarterbacks in. Mac Jones, I'll take a second-round pick on Mac Jones. First-round pick, late, maybe questionable. Justin should go between 7 and 18 is probably where he should go, given what he's done. But he'll probably go 1 through 5. But, yeah, I still got Fields. I think he has upside. And you look at it, he's not really a running quarterback per se. He is more of a mobile quarterback, but he does stand in the pocket. But at the same time, Ohio State quarterbacks have not produced well in the league because they do have a talent advantage over most teams. But I don't think it's to the same effect on a consistent basis as Alabama. That's why a lot of quarterbacks have found some success in that system.
We're going to break this topic down more because I got to make sure I get turned to this, but I want to throw your own analogy you just threw at Chris in your face. So the guy averaged 25 against trash the entire year, but then when the game time was there, what type of 25 a game are we talking about, Baze? That's the same analogy of Justin Fields, and that's what I've seen. And honestly, he played well enough in that Clemson game. But I'm telling you, as somebody that's been pretty good on this show, when it comes to that position, I've been pretty good. And as of late, Baze, I've been on fire. I can see it. And that's all I want to say about Justin Fields. I've been on fire, dude.
With quarterbacks?
I mean, the game in general, Baze, because that's just me. But yes, quarterbacks.
There you go.
Chris, you see the clock.
All right.
It's home, man.
To hit the Justin Fields thing real quick, I'm not a big fan of him. I think he needs, honestly, as an athlete to an athlete, I would run, and I would take the money. You're a top 5 pick, take the money. If he wasn't, I would be highly up for this man staying another year and learning the game because he's a quarterback that can run, but I think he needs another year under somebody teaching him how to throw in the lanes and not just the deep ball and going through progressions. I feel like he really needs – wherever he goes, he's going to be forced to play early, and that won't be the best thing for him. Now, to get to the real topic, if you look at Alabama over the last couple of years, we now will possibly have 3 first-round quarterbacks who are in the same room with each other. 3. Because let's look at it. Mac Jones will end up going somewhere 25 to 30 in that range. We had Tua, we had Jalen, which Jalen probably shouldn't have went, but first round, but whatever. Or whatever the hell he went. second round. I'm sorry. So we had 3 top quarterbacks in the same room. We've now had about 5 first-round receivers over the last couple of years. Saban's last couple of recruiting classes have all won natties over the last couple of years. Now, I will sit here and gladly say I still don't put Saban over Bear Bryant because of the racial tits that's in it. But Saban is the greatest thing since Bear Bryant, hands down. I just saw now that the old Texans coach is now going to replace Sarkisian. So allow me to say this right now. I'm going to enjoy this championship because if Billick is the new OC for Alabama, I don't know about that shit.
Bill O'Brien.
He's finalizing it today, so I don't know about that one. I don't know.
The dude won games. He just doesn't know how to,
He doesn't know how to coach.
He doesn't know how to.
A coach doesn't know how to coach. Like a coach doesn't know how to coach. Like, exactly.
Games like it's all right. Like dude went to the playoffs. Like it's okay. We just should have kept DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm just hoping that all these top 5 recruiting classes we've had over the years will overtake Bill O'Brien's stupidity. So I'm looking forward to next year because then you get a full LSU team to go against. We get the cupcakes back on the schedule and everything else. So, but Northwestern will be back to mediocrity. Michigan State is still rebuilding, and Alabama is still king. What's good?